Hello all, Daniel Garb here with you, ready to analyse another big weekend of Premier League action right here on Betfair. The three games we'll look at this weekend, well, there's an obvious one, a blockbuster. Chelsea against Liverpool, cannot wait for it from Stamford Bridge. A big game 2 weeks into the season for Jose Mourinho as Tottenham take on Southampton. We'll analyse that one. And then the new boys, Leeds, up against another promoted side in Fulham. That looms as a tasty encounter as well. Make sure you look at all of the Premier League markets and all your favourite betting sports, of course, on the Betfair hub, and make sure you gamble responsibly. There is no bigger game by a long, long way in the Premier League this weekend than Chelsea against Liverpool from Stamford Bridge. It is an absolute blockbuster. Chelsea spent big, as we know, in the off-season, then backed that up with a first-up win away to Brighton. But now comes a very tall order, trying to knock off the champions, albeit on their home deck. You get the feeling Liverpool will be out to send a message, though. Yes, Chelsea, you're a different proposition this season. Yes, you've signed all these players, but we're still the champions. We're still the big boys, and we'd like to send a message early on. No surprise, considering all of that the draw is getting a lot of action on the Betfair hub. A lot of people like that, and it is a value play, but I just get the feeling Liverpool also represent a lot of value, considering the message they'll be keen to send early on. Chelsea, you've got a lot of work to do before you can catch up on us. And Liverpool showed early on in that game against Leeds, their attacking prowess is still top-notch. They made a couple of defensive mistakes. You'd expect them to iron that out and perhaps have a little bit too much solidity for Chelsea early on. But it's an open game. The draw is in play. Yes, of course, Chelsea can win, but the smart play, considering the value, is Liverpool is the champions. I'm tipping them for all 3 points. Southampton against Tottenham. This is a very big game early up on Sunday morning, of course, so you can have a bet and then enjoy this encounter at a pretty good time here in Australia. And it looms as a massive one early on for Jose Mourinho. That was a really disappointing result for him first up against Everton. And you get the feeling with Spurs that so much of their hopes this season rest on where Mourinho's at. Is he still the special one? Does he still have that magic touch? Or is he a manager of years gone by, and have Tottenham perhaps brought someone in who is past his best and as a result may struggle this season? The first up encounter was not a good indication considering all of that, but now they go to a Southampton side who are notorious slow starters and lost their opening game away to Crystal Palace. I expect Tottenham to bounce back. I think they have value away from home and they can get the 3 points just to settle things at White Hart Lane and perhaps put a bit of pressure on Ralph Hasenhüttl at Southampton. So I'm going for Tottenham in this one, not with an enormous amount of confidence, but I think they will bounce back and just settle things early on in this campaign. Well, how good is it having Leeds back in the Premier League? We waited for so long for them to return, and they announced their return to the big stage by pushing Liverpool all the way, of course, and coming back from a goal down on 3 occasions at Anfield. That should hold them in pretty good stead. To be too good for Fulham, you would think, in what is a battle of two promotion sides. Disappointing result for Fulham first up at home to Arsenal, losing 3-0. That will put a lot of doubt in their minds, and Leeds will feel good about their opening encounter by performing so well in an attacking sense against Liverpool. So I expect them to win at home. There's a bit more value for them at home than I thought they might have. Yes, Fulham know a lot about how they play from their battles in the Championship, but living up to the pressure in the Premier League on the first occasion for Leeds wasn't too much of an issue. I expect them to get their first 3 points of the season against the Cottagers.